Hello, everyone. It's Charlene Lee. I'm excited to be here today, joining you. I'm calling from Florida. I'm here for some work. I just spoke at a presentation, and and I'm excited to share with you this whole idea of what does it mean to be AI ready and what does it mean to be AI first, because we hear those two terms tossed around a lot, and I wanted to dive into that a little bit more. So what it seems like is that I oftentimes hear yet another CEO regularly announce that their company is going AI first, and every time I hear it, I give it a little shudder, to be honest, because I feel that AI first is a technology company's framing. And unless you're a technology company, Google, OpenAI technology startup, or again, technology is a really important focus for your organization, uh, you could AI first makes sense because you're talking about moving from maybe like a mobile first to an AI first. But I think there's a difference that what I want to explore today is the difference between putting AI in the driver's seat versus putting your leadership in the driver's seat. And that's the choice that I'm framing for today, that will determine whether you actually transform your organization or you're just going to thrash around in the AI muck. So let's talk a little bit about first where AI came from. And I do have a few slides that I'll share later on. But again, as opposed to other live streams that I've done, this is not so much I'm sorry, AI slide heavy approach. I just want to be able to talk to you about things. And I see JDJ Mail '01 from coming in from Tahoe, one of my favorite places. I hope there's snow. It's again just a terrible season for skiing, except unless you're on the East Coast. I guess it's a bit of a switch. But today, I really want to just say welcome you all, and if you would like, put a hello in the comments and share your thoughts about what it means to be AI ready versus AI first. All right, so let's talk about this idea of where AI first came from. This was actually I did a little bit of research, and it was Google's Sundar Pichai who coined AI first, and he used it first in 2016. And as I mentioned before, it was to shift from being mobile first to being ready, AI first. And for Google, this makes a lot of sense because AI is their product. So they should be AI first. And it was to denote the fact that they were going to focus primarily on AI. But now we see a lot of different other companies who say they are AI first. I hear banks talking about it, hospitals, manufacturers, retailers, as well as many technology companies. For example, Fiverr, the CEO in 2025 announced that the company would reimagine itself as an AI first company to operate leaner and faster. So that's to be debated because Fiverr is a technology based company as a talent marketplace and clearinghouse. So that may be one way to do it. But the problem is that you're importing Silicon Valley's technologies priorities into the context where they may not fit. And while companies like Fiverr may want to be seen as AI first, they are still, in the end, customer first. They're really about serving the talent marketplace, the people who want to connect with that talent, and making sure that their needs are being met. So I think there are two meanings behind AI first. The first one is a business model one. This is great for AI native startups or the hyperscalers who are building AI from the ground up. So being AI first, AI native, that makes a lot of sense. And it especially makes sense when AI is a core product. I dug up some additional stats here. In the spring of 2025, the Y Combinator, which is a famous incubator for startups, 46% of their cohort were AI agent companies. So AI first companies also tend to move faster to market. And again, they're 47% have reached critical scale versus only 13% of AI enabled companies. So if you're building AI products for customers, totally legit, AI first, great branding, great positioning. The second meaning of AI first is more from an operating philosophy, and I find this to be problematic. AI first implies that we're going to apply AI to everything, that AI will handle most of the tasks that humans currently do. It translates as we're going to replace headcount. Some framings from some consulting companies is that we're going to spend heavily on tech and lightly on people, and that compensation and benefits costs will fall. Spending in HR, marketing, customer support will drop as machines perform these tasks. That's almost a direct quote from one of the companies. And so when a company, when a technology company says AI first, they're describing the product strategy. Again, totally legit use of the word. But when a company, when an enterprise company says AI first, they're often describing a cost cutting strategy dressed up again as innovation. And so I think that's a very concerning approach. And I think language really matters in this day and age because everyone is listening, especially your employees and especially your customers. What are you positioning yourself? How do you see yourself? What does it mean to be AI first versus AI ready? So I want to give you a very public example of this. Um, Right, and it's the store at Klarna. So you may know about Klarna. They're the pay later approach to things, and the CEO Sebastian I'm going to massacre this. Simiakowski wanted to be, as he called it, OpenAI's favorite guinea pig. So they partnered with OpenAI in 2023 to integrate AI into customer service, marketing, and internal processes. In 2024, they announced that they were going to use an AI chatbot to do the work of 700 employees, especially in customer service. So their claim was that query resolution times dropped from 11 minutes to 2 minutes. The workforce shrank a lot. The revenues per employee went up 73% year over year, and they were celebrated for being the AI first poster child. So the CEO even made an AI deep fake of himself, reported financial results. Quote, proving even a CEO can be replaced. So he is quoted as, I am of the opinion that AI can already do all of the jobs that we as humans do. So let's fast forward to 2025. What Klarna found is that customer complaints started increasing and multiplying. People were saying that the results were generic, repetitive, and insufficiently nuanced in their replies. So the quality of the customer service was declining, and AI just couldn't handle the complex issues that required judgment, and their customer satisfaction scores dropped sharply. So they decided that they were going to go back and actually rehire people. They decided to experiment with remote customer service agents. They piloted a hybrid Uber style gig workforce of students and rural workers, again, to keep the costs down. And the CEO now says it's important that customers always have a clear path to a human. So, one AI thought leader, Gary Marcus, dubbed this the Klarna effect, which is the art declaring that AI's ubiquitousness power would quietly would replace humans very loudly about that, and then quietly re-announcing that they were rehiring people again. So this is happening again and again as the early promises that AI would do everything for you, as we now know, is not necessarily that ready for prime time. So the question isn't, can AI do the job? The question is, what can people accomplish if AI handle the operational noise that gets in their way? And that's a very different question. And what Klarna got wrong, I think, is that they started with the technology and not the strategy. They optimized for cost and not value. They measured efficiency and not outcomes. And very importantly, they forgot that customers' trust is built by humans. So I really want to talk about what does AI ready really look like. So I want to just share my slide here. Let's make this, yeah, I'll make this a little bit bigger. So if you look at AI first versus AI ready, and let me just put out where the slides are going to be. Hopefully they don't distract. Okay, good enough. Just the second row here is AI ready. All right. Here we go. So the starting point again, as I mentioned, is that with AI first, you start with the technology. AI ready, you start with strategy. You've heard me, if you've listened to this live stream over and over again, say, and we write about this in the book Winning with AI that's coming out in March. That I write this with Katya Walsh, my co-author, that you have to start with strategy if you want to win with AI. And the question is for the AI first companies, how do we apply AI everywhere we can see? With AI ready is what problems are we solving? It's taking a design approach instead to be able to understand what are the biggest, most important, most strategic problems we can solve with AI. It's strategic. And so it's about creating value instead of trying to just be efficient. Humans are at the middle of an AI ready approach. We're augmenting humans rather than replacing them. And the adoption, instead of focusing on speed only, we're also looking at how do we make it sustainable. And I so believe that this last area is a key feature of AI readiness. And in particular, what I mean by that is that it's about organizational readiness, that people are ready, prepared to adopt AI and also adapt to AI. They have a culture that supports experimentation and learning. It's a strategy that AI serves and not the reverse. It's leadership that owns the transformation that AI, and they are highly focused on that. And it's not just IT, but it's the business leaders too as well. And it also means that employees are well trained, AI fluent, both from the top down, centrally organized, and also from the bottom up, where they're applying AI to their jobs and works. That's a key part of being AI fluent and AI ready. And that there is high trust in AI that then correlates with a higher ROI, because low trust is going to lead to a negative ROI, just guarantee you. So AI ready means that you've built an organization that can adapt at the speed as AI evolves. And the speed at which you adapt, not just adopt, is what gives you that competitive advantage. So I think again, the difference between AI first and AI ready is significant. What it really truly being AI ready is much more than just a technology play. It means putting your leadership in the driver's seat. It means being fast at adapting and building an organization that can adapt to anything. So the paradox that we often see is that 88% of organizations are now actively using AI, but many of them, the latest numbers I've seen is that 78% report no material financial impact. So this is the AI paradox. And that PwC recently did some research and found that because so many companies crowdsource AI initiatives from the ground up, then try to mold them into a strategy, that approach rarely leads to transformation. So you have a lot of activity, but not a lot of outcomes. So if you try to jump to adoption without building that organizational capacity to really create value, you're not going to get the transformation you want. All right, just going to stop and see if there are any comments from people. Jay, Bryant, thank you so much for sharing everything. Um, let's see. Sal Khan, again, this is from JD. Sal Khan mentioned in a recent article how a customer service organization in the Philippines decided to devote 1% of its revenues toward developing and re-educating its employees. I think that's fantastic. If you have that article, would love to see it. Again, when I hear that they're devoting a significant amount of not just the profits of the revenues, which will impact profits. There's a belief there that every single cent they spend on educating and developing their employees is going to pay off, and it's absolutely a right investment. People investing their time, investing their money, making sure that people are getting educated on whatever it is that they need always pays off. And yet I hear from so many companies again when I ask them, are you getting any AI training? And they're like, yeah, we're encouraged to get AI training, but we never have the time. There are just so many things on our to-do list, with just people are just pushing me, pushing me, pushing me to get the work done. There's so much pressure to just get things done that even though we know we have to learn about AI, that we have to get fluent with it, uh, there's just no time. And I think, again, this is not about looking at AI as a transformational tool. If you knew it was going to be strategic and transformational, of course, you would invest the time and the people and the money into that training and learning. All right, let's see. Any other comments here? Um, Yes. Okay, great. All right, let me move on and talk a little bit about, let me find my notes here, about the process of how to become AI ready. All right, let me just get one last slide up here. And this is the right adoption sequence, folks. So I want to talk first about people first. And people first, then AI ready, then AI applied. So when I talk about a people first strategy, it really is talking to what people are afraid of, what they're hopeful about. It's about addressing their fears, about building their skills, and redesigning their work. So the biggest barrier to AI adoption is this fear, this resistance, and the lack of psychological safety at all levels of the organization. We're talking about frontline workers who worry about navigating this landscape and how do they understand the value that they bring when they see the work being automated by AI. We're talking about middle management, where they're resistant to having to lead in a different way, to work in a different way. So the real bottleneck isn't the cost of labor, it's the environment surrounding that labor that does not allow them to be able to use their true talents and their passions in a way that, again, AI can support them in advancing that. So AI ready is about all the organizational things, the culture, the governance, this strategy connection to with AI. It's the roadmap, it's the training. So AI high performers share some common traits. They have a bold vision and ambition for what they want to do. They redesign workflows and they scale super fast. So companies with greater than 50% of their employees who are defined as AI fluent deploy AI across more than seven internal use cases on average. So there are these different places where, again, there are AI applications going across your organization. And again, the companies with a strong AI ready workforce that is AI fluent are being much more successful at this. And then AI applied is where AI is being used to create strategic value. So starting, again, we like to say, think big with strategy, start small with some lower risk and near term opportunities, and then expand to more complex AI applications that can transform your core business functions. So the defining capability, I believe, of AI applied is when you can quickly move from experiments and pilots into everyday practice. So being able to scale AI requires that you be AI ready. So organizations that put people first and become AI ready and then deploy AI applications strategically are the ones who will win. So this is something that Kachi and I, my co-author, talk about all the time, that the organizations that develop these superhumans, as we call them, people who are able to use AI also to not just accomplish organizational goals, but to augment and amplify very unique human traits. Things like empathy, self reflection, intuition, judgment, wisdom, creativity. These are all the things that humans do uniquely. So that is a winning formula for amplifying what AI does and what humans do really well and unique. So, my key question for you all are a couple things. Um, let's see, a couple questions to ask. Uh, who's driving your AI initiatives? Is it technology or strategy? If the answer is we need to keep up or AI can do this cheaper, then technology is driving you, your AI first. If your answer is this solves X number of business problems and creates Y in terms of value, then you're AI ready. And who's in the driver's seat? If it's IT or vendors that are driving your agenda, then you're AI first. If it's business leaders who are defining it by outcomes, then and value created and capabilities, then you're AI ready. So, really understanding what's driving your initiatives, who's in the driver's seat, and what are you measuring will really help you understand, are you approaching AI as AI first or AI ready? So look, I'm not saying that AI first is always wrong. If you're building AI products, if AI is your business, then great, go for it. But for the vast majority of organizations, AI first is the wrong framing. It puts technology ahead of people and strategy. It puts efficiency ahead of value, and it puts adoption ahead of adaption. So I think the opportunity is that companies that approach AI as a transformational program, starting with people, looking at strategy and thinking about preparedness. These are the people who are in organizations that are going to be able to scale projects that drive significant value. So AI ready, frankly, is harder to do than AI first. It requires you to do all this hard organizational work. Again, we just finished a whole book that talks about how do you build an organization that is going to be ready for you to, again, compete extremely well and to be able to win. It's the culture, we believe, it's the skills, it's the mindsets that you have to have those before you scale. But that's also exactly why AI works in these types of organizations. So speed is the new mode, but speed without direction is just chaos. Get AI ready first and then move as fast as you can. All right, so that's what I have for today. And what I have for you next week is going to be a really fun topic. We're going to talk next week, again, regular time, Tuesday at 9 o'clock on February 10th. And we'll be discussing how this whole process of unlearning. I was giving a talk last week, and in the prep call, I was talking with somebody about how their organization, again, this is an internal talk that I did for their leadership. I actually was for the entire organization, about how what does it mean to be AI ready, how to win with AI. And one of the things he really wanted to emphasize was how important it was to unlearn. And so I went down a deep rabbit hole with this. So I want to share with you some of the results of that research and talk to you about why it is so important to unlearn as well as to learn. So join me next week to talk about that. In the meantime, good luck to you. I hope you are working hard on being an AI ready organization and being an AI ready leader. And I encourage you to experiment with that. Write to me as always and share what's working for you, what's not. Send questions because, as you can see from these live streams, the questions that you all come up with, your comments, your curiosity is what really drives a lot of my work. So I look forward to hearing from all of you. Take care, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.